Hello, my beautiful ladies, and welcome to what is our second Jesus in Arbonne training, or Jesus in Business training, because this isn't just for Arbonners, but it is for anybody who is in business or wanting to be in business and who wants to partner with Jesus to just make their business absolutely come alive and just be supernatural. So I'm really, really excited that you're here. And what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight is sort of carrying on from what I spoke about last week, which was all about identity and having a culture of sonship in your business. And I absolutely loved your feedback from last week's training, and I'm so happy that it resonated with you guys and that you took a lot out of it. That means a lot to me, and it made me feel really empowered to keep going with this venture that is Jesus in Business. So what I'm going to do tonight is I've made another PowerPoint for myself to keep myself on track. So I'm going to share my screen and go through my ideas with you for tonight. And tonight's just a very short training. It's probably only going to be about 15 minutes or so. And yeah, can't wait to hear what you think of this one. So I'm just going to share my screen with y'all. There we go. And slideshow. Okay, so what today's training kind of subject is being in business with God, and what that actually means, what it means to be in business and in partnership with the creator of the universe. Because I don't know about you, but to me, saying being in partnership with the creator of the universe is beyond exciting, in the terms of not just life, but in business as well. So I just wanted to start off by having a little bit of a recap of what I spoke about last week about the culture of sonship, because this is at the absolute core of your business, of my business, and of anyone's business who is watching. And to have a culture of sonship, just to recap, is to be encouraging and empowering people around you, values placed on connection, and people are valued for who they are more than what they can do. Honor is demonstrated by holding people accountable to the fullness of their capabilities as a person, not just as a business partner. They are equipped with the tools to discover the dreams and potential within, and given the opportunity and support to live from purpose, and creativity and risk-taking are encouraged. I just wanted to recap on that because it is of utter importance that we keep these things at the forefront of our business and absolutely intertwined into everything that we do. So talking about the concept of business in relation to partnering with God as your business partner, and 1 John 3:8 puts it this way. It says, the reason the Son of God was made manifest was to undo the works of the devil. Plainly put, Jesus came to undo the works of the devil. And when we are living within Jesus and Jesus in us, that should be at the center of our thinking and of the way that we live our life at all times. His purpose was to undo the works of the devil. So now that becomes our purpose as well, to undo the works of the devil. And I know it is finished, it is done. What Jesus did on the cross, it is absolutely finished. But for us, walking in Christ and becoming more and more Christ-like, that is part of our purpose as well. And the concept of business, and a business being the servant of God, is to displace darkness and replace it with light. And that, at the end of the day, is what we want to do as Christ followers. And this is something that we can massively do through our businesses. And this is a point for people to not forget that it's not just in our church walk and in our personal walk that we are displacing darkness and replacing it with light, but business is a huge massive opportunity for us to be displacing darkness and replacing it with light. And that's what it means to be partnered with God in your business. So a heaven business displaces things like poverty, displaces want, it displaces addiction to debt, because people can get into this sort of crazy cycle of debt, and by using your business to help other people prosper, you're actually displacing that and you're replacing it with light. And not only that, we have the opportunity, especially in what we do, myself and my team in our Arbonne business, we have such opportunity to replace so many other aspects of people's lives where there may be darkness and change it for light. We have the opportunity to mentor people, to allow people to find their purpose, to allow people to see that there's a better life. And this should be all the things in the forefront of what our business is and why we do our businesses. So being a child of God means a massive amount of things for then being in business as well. So being a child of the King is to have an awareness of unlimited resource. Unlimited resource. I don't know what that kind of triggers in your mind, but in my mind it triggers so many things. And in last week's stream I said this little quote from a book that I read, and it says, if you want to experience the supernatural, you have to attempt something beyond your natural ability. To have an awareness of that unlimited resource means to go for things above your natural ability, to expect the supernatural, to expect miracles, because you know you have that unlimited resource. And, you know, you're not in this alone. With your business, we've got to stop thinking that it's ours and we have to do absolutely everything for us to see our results in our business. And it's just so not true when you're partnering with God, with the creator of the universe in your business. Because yes, while we work hard, of course we work hard because we want to, we're working for our Father's glory. Everything we do is for his glory. So we put our effort in for sure, but we show up and we do what we can, and God's going to do the rest. And we can't forget about that other, it's not a half, it is that other 99%. What we do, we show up and we do the 1%, and God rushes in and uses his unlimited resource to do the rest. So remember that you're not in this alone. And when you are aware of your unlimited resource, that how much God wants to help you in what you're doing, how much he's just so in and amongst everything that you're doing, you actually step into all that you're meant to be. So Proverbs 11:10 says, when it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices. 11:11 says, by the blessing of the influence of the upright and God's favor, because of them, the city is exalted. I mean, if that doesn't relate to business, I don't know what does. That's just amazing to think that if we access, as being a child of the King, if we're accessing his unlimited resources, stepping out into all that we're meant to be in the righteousness of God, and a building influence, because as business owners, that's what we're doing. We are building influence. We are building something. And through that influence, the city rejoices. Through that influence, the city is exalted. Through our influence and through God's unlimited resource, we are going to see lives change. We are going to see lives impacted because we chose to step into who all we are. We chose to step into all that it means to be a child of God. So as a child of God, we are empowered with this favor, with this unlimited resource, to come under another person and empower them to succeed. So it's no longer about, like I mentioned last week, it's no longer about me prospering and me growing and my business, my business, my business, my this, my that, my money, my money. It's about taking what God gives and using it to lift somebody else up, so that they can then do the same. And that's a culture of sonship. That is a business with the creator of the universe as your partner. So how do we do this? How do we access his unlimited resource? How do we partner with God, not just in our businesses, but in our lives? And I believe that to do that, we need to fill up and then pour out. Fill up, then pour out. We have nothing to give unless we first are filled. And what I mean by filling up is my oxygen. It is my everything. And unless I do that first, I don't want anything that comes after it. Unless God's first, unless Jesus is first, unless I'm filled up with Jesus, I don't want what comes after that. So for me, this is just how, I'm not saying this is how everybody needs to do it, but for me, this is how it works for me. I have a really solid morning routine where I just spend time with Jesus and I fill up to get me ready for my day, to get me ready for what comes ahead with my business and in the workplace. So what this looks like for me is I set my alarm minimum 1 hour earlier than what I would need to set it. And I come into this office right here and I spend that time with the door closed with Jesus. And that looks for me, I have my worship first. So I'll play, some mornings it'll be 1 song, 2 songs. Some mornings I get so into the presence and I'm loving worship that I might just worship the whole time. But I just let it progress naturally. So I spend my time in worship first. Then I spend my time in my journal. This is where I write all of my prayers and just my gratitude to what God's doing, and just so much different stuff goes into this book, and it is a really, really important part of my day in filling up. So there's time with that, and then I spend time in the Word. I want to spend time in the Word every morning before I tackle my day. So I will sit and I will read and then write things in my journal, and just absolutely love delving into the Word first thing in the morning. So that's what my morning routine looks like. That's what filling up looks like for me at the start of the day. But then, of course, you're continually filling up throughout the day. And it's also really important to spend time with God, to dream with Him in His presence about your business, specifically getting into His presence and dreaming with Him about what's next. What's your vision, God? What do I have now that I can use to take a step forward in my business? Taking that time to dream with Him. And there is a process to dreaming with God that I use that I'll definitely be doing on one of the upcoming weeks of these trainings as well. And for me also, I spend time with Jesus before I do anything business. So yes, I spend my time in the morning, but then say I came back in here in the afternoon to sit down and do an hour's worth of work for my business. I always take time to just fill back up with Jesus first. So I might just play a worship song, or I might journal a bit, or I might just sit there and just pray and just talk with God. And I find that allows me to then step into what I'm going to do with my business in that next hour or half an hour or 10 minutes, whatever it may be. It's going to be so much more successful because I put Jesus first. Because in His presence, we become creatively energized. We really do. In His presence and in that time, He's going to bring you ideas and He's going to bring you wisdom. So if you have something pop into your mind in that time of worship and presence, write it down, because He has so much to share with us. And this wisdom that He brings us. So wisdom is, as I have it there, it says seeing past the obvious into the internal making of a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity, so that we operate in true understanding. What would that mean for your business? What would operating with true understanding, what would operating with the internal ideas of challenge, of problems, what would supernatural problem solving look like in your business? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves, and this is what really fires me up to just be so committed to partnering with God in my business, because what it can bring in wisdom and in creativity is just beyond anything I could ever resource myself. It is beyond my natural capability. And he brings me ideas and some of the things that I've come up with to do or been prompted to do from being in the presence with God, dreaming about my business, have just had huge impacts on my business. And it's definitely something that I value and that I think that we should all value when it comes to our businesses. So lastly, I just wanted to finish off by saying that by accessing God's unlimited resource, by really stepping out into being a child of God and what that means for us, that means that we can have a God-sized impact, not a human-sized impact, because we are weak, but in him we are strong. And Jesus has given us an edge in every realm of society if we'll use it. That's the key. If we'll use it, it's there. We have the access, but if we use it. And it's not just so that we can be better ourselves, and it's not so that we can be better than other people, but it's so we can be empowered to serve well, to serve all people well. And that's where a God-sized impact really comes. It's no longer about me and my goals and impacting my life, but it's about impacting who God wants to be impacted. And if your dream, this always gets my mind going, if your dream doesn't include other people coming into prosperity and succeeding, then your dream is way too small. If your dream isn't about prospering others and seeing other people going beyond you and above you and bringing so much love and joy to other people, you don't have a God-sized dream. You need to just let God start putting some dreams, God-sized dreams in your heart, and really think about how you can use your business to see other people succeed. How can you use your business to impact other people's lives? Because that's what being a servant leader is all about. That's what serving God is all about. And that's what my business is all about. So I hope that that could have, I'm just going to stop the share so you can see my face again. I hope that that could have sparked something in your mind. Like I said, it was just a really quick one tonight. But my goal of that was to just get your mind thinking about what a business partnering with God looks like. I want you to think about what your business currently looks like and where you might be able to make changes or improvements so that your business reflects partnering with God. And for me, the biggest thing that I needed to change was to stop relying on myself. I need to do this. I need to reach this goal. I need to do this, because that brought so much stress and anxiety into my life, and feeling like all of this was just resting on my shoulders and it was all up to me to reach these goals. But actually taking a step back and saying, God, you have put these dreams and these goals in my heart. And this, I know this is purposeful, what I'm doing. So I show up and I do what it is that I can do, but I also feel so much peace and rest because I know that at the same time He's showing up and doing everything else. I know that if there's this goal that I want to reach, I'm going to put the steps, I'm going to keep stepping and I put the work in, but there's no stress there because I know He's got it. And I know that He's going to take me step by step by step and make supernatural and miraculous things happen along the way. And when you can actually be in a place like that in your business, like I said, stress, anxiety go, and peace, love, and joy abound. And peace, love, and joy abounding is going to make your business absolutely explode. It's going to bring momentum. It's going to bring impact. It's going to allow you to serve better. It's going to bring more people into your circle of influence who you can bring Jesus to. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there for tonight and just really praying into the fact that I'm just really hoping that my team of girls can really connect and dream with Jesus about your businesses. And allow him to open up the vision for you of how he wants to use you and how he wants to use this vehicle of your business to bring more of the kingdom to earth, because he so wants to. You are all amazing women of God who I am so blessed to have in my organization. I love you so much. I encourage you just to fill up with Jesus, because that is what is going to see our lives be so successful. I love you all. I hope you have a lovely evening, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. See you later, everybody.